Good morning, all. Let's start the session because Mr. Barman was waiting since long, actually. Himanshu, can you please switch on your camera for some time so the students can see you? Thank you. Press is also here online.
Yeah, my cam will be on. In fact, I would request everyone else to be on, so that we are
Yeah.
not just
Yes, yes.
spending here time.
Press is also here in the meeting, I suppose. And we have
Yes, I have
another
seen
faculty
him.
member, Jayashree. Jayashree, can you please switch on your video so that Himanshu can at least remember our faces as students are not switching on their videos. Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Yes, I can. Good morning, Prash. Good morning. Good morning, Madam Jayashree.
Okay, so probably we can start, no? Prayas and Jayashree?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start. So for the students, I think Himanshu, I'm very proud to present Himanshu to all of you because he is our alumni, our own people actually. So I'm for the students only. I'm just briefing about what Himanshu is doing right now. So he is a founder and ex-managing trustee of Kalpa Briska Trust. He's a banker actually, who is turned as a social entrepreneur, and he has a vast experience in the banking sector, almost 12 years. And Mr. Barman is a certified planner and investor counselor with his expertise in stock market, mutual fund, and insurance. He is also a certified trainer in life skills, entrepreneurship, and small business development, certified by National Institute of Entrepreneurship and Small Business Development, New Delhi. Mr. Barman has recently selected for the sixth cohort of Social Entrepreneurship Program by Tata Institute of Social Science, Mumbai. He is an alumnus of Sainik School, Gwalpara. He has completed his bachelor's in zoology from Guwahati University and has an MBA in marketing from our university. He has published papers in the field of microfinance, livelihood, and human resource management. One of his work, along with his co-author, was selected as the top 75 ideas to promote life in the call for papers by Niti Aayog, Government of India in the year 2023. Currently, Mr. Barman is working as a project manager in the Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship in the project title Establish, Develop, and Manage Entrepreneurship Development Center and Incubation Centers in the Northeast region. Northeast Regions Educational Institute, which is sponsored by Northeastern Council and implemented by Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship. Himanshu, we welcome you to our session, and we are also thankful that no, in spite of your busy schedule, you just agreed to my proposal and you joined and you just no try to share your experience with our student. Thank you so much, and I actually really hopeful that our students will be gaining lots from you. Thank you, Himanshu. And now you can start your session.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, ma'am. It was a long introduction, actually. Sometimes it happens, we have to tell everything about ourselves so that we are promoted in a better way. So that
Yeah.
is what introduction part is always necessary. I mean, people will be able to relate what kind of background we are from and what we are actually doing. So otherwise, what happens? They are unable to, connect with us when we speak
Yes,
in front of
yes,
them.
yes, true.
So that was quite a comprehensive, introduction. So thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Prayas, for remembering me that I can be a part of this kind of classroom session. Although I'm not a motivational speaker, basically I'm a very to the market guy. So I always think in, जो दिखता है वही बिकता है. I mean, I am of that opinion. So basically, this presentation is about, as ma'am had requested to, talk about entrepreneurship opportunities and the pitfall, of course. There are pitfalls. So I won't focus much on the pitfall. There is hardly a slide on it. But main thing is we will discuss about the opportunities and what is the difference between enterprise then startup. What is the link between skill and enterprise creation? I mean, there are a lot of things. So we have been given 2 hours time. Of course, I will not take 2 hours. It's a Saturday and we'll wind up soon. The only thing I request my student friends, in fact, if they can switch on the cam, no, it will be more lively interaction because it's not a classroom session for your, records. Ma'am had requested me to, make it more conversational. So I don't want to be talking to I mean, I can see a lot of names here, but I cannot see the faces. Gajendra Yadav, I guess, he has switched on. So just to give a perspective. So what is my take actually? What I am doing right now is it's kind of very new for us. I am a first generation entrepreneur to be if somebody has to ask me. So for me, entrepreneurship itself is very new because I have been hearing about it, but we never experienced it. In my family also, everyone was salaried and they retired. My parents. I also worked. I worked for 12 years. Then I thought like, okay, now I have some confidence that I can explore myself. So that's how things changes. Somebody has to take a call. To change the track. So, with this thought, I'll start my presentation. I'll just take you through some of the things which came to my mind when I prepared the presentation for you all. So, this is the flow. I mean, the flow of the presentation for next 45 minutes maybe, and then we will open for discussion, questions, and some of your own kind of ideas about entrepreneurship and how the career progression shall happen. All those things we'll discuss. So basically, we are going to do a fact check on the present situation. Then we will make a problem statement. Then we will give evidences to support the problem in hand. I mean, the entrepreneurial ecosystem or the unemployment, whatever you name it, actually. It's a wide area. So we'll try to identify what is the problem and what we are trying to address. Then we'll try to develop a problem map. I mean, these are all our kind of startup pitch. So you can follow this trend also because this is being followed nowadays. That's why I thought like it should be, two-way learning for you. I mean, one though you learn the theory part and the other thing is how we are, pitching these days to our investors or to the banks or to the stakeholders for that matter. So fact check we will do. Problem statement, we will create a problem statement out of the fact that we have. We'll support it with the evidences. We'll create a problem map. We'll try to formulate a business model that will solve the problem in hand. And of course, we will go to the pitfalls, which is the last slide of the presentation. So why skilling and entrepreneurship education? Okay. I just started with what is the relationship between skilling and entrepreneurship. Okay. Without skill, I think nobody can become an entrepreneur. Or for that matter, nobody can get a job. Okay. Skilling is the first thing. So skilling happens at different level. Somebody gets skilled at home. Somebody gets skilled at school, college, or university. Somebody gets skilled at their job. I mean, it may happen at any point of time in somebody's life. So it depends on the person whether he is interested to acquire that skill or he feels the necessity of that skill. So that part is skilling. That's a personality development. People they mistake with personality development, then educational qualification and skilling. I mean, they all are same actually, but they just think I'm good in speaking, let's say communicating, and I'm done. No, it's not that. We will need some more thing to it just to have a full package. So skilling is important. And with the skills, if we get some kind of experience of applying that skill, that gives us experience, right? Job experience kind of thing. We are experienced of applying our skills. So that's how the job experience, on the job experience is, validated. So if you see the slide, 62% of people of India are 35 years under. That's kind of, a good number, in fact. 70 crore people under 35. So you can understand what is the competition level. Then again, skilled, unskilled manpower, we will have in fact, 4 to 5 crore in next decade. We'll have surplus manpower. I mean, just forget about the kind of job opportunities we have. It's going to be surplus manpower. We can supply it to the world. But again, if you think in the other way, when I am saying 4 to 5 crore extra skilled people, I mean, you can understand the kind of competition at every level. I mean, these are the data from the Ministry of Skill, MSDE basically. That is the ministry which, mostly runs the skill and entrepreneurship development program. So this is what what is the problem. I mean, we are unable to judge what is the level of competition that will come in front of us in next 5 to 10 years. We are not able to judge. We are just imagine the case of Teachbu University. When we studied, we were only 1,200 students, and I'm sure now the number has gone more than 4,000, if I'm not wrong, ma'am. Is it 4,000
Yes,
plus now?
Himanshu. Yes, it's
Yeah.
crossed 4,000. Yes.
Yes. So BTech, if I'm not wrong, when we had studied there, it was around 120 or 150 odd students. Now I think
That
it is
was
more than
BTech group. They had a intake of I think 80 students or all total 120. Now we have
120.
300 around 300
Yes,
students.
yes. So you can just imagine one single institute itself, what is the level of, skilled student. I'm not talking about the unskilled part. You all are qualified. I mean, you have gone through certain tests, then you have come here. Then again, you see the kind of exponential growth in number of graduates for that matter. So this is how, I mean, then that's the level of competition that we are expecting now. So without adding competency, just skilling will not help us. I mean, to add competency, we have to experience something, like we have to get a job, right? To explore what are the skills we have acquired, whether it is workable or not. So we need to explore that part also. So that's how it will happen. So both are interlinked. Skilling first, skilling, then on the job some experience, then we go for entrepreneurship or different kind of career altogether. So that's how the flow is. That's how the career progression happens these days. So let me have a trending topic: startup. Everybody talks about it, but nobody correctly defines what is a startup. Most people, they confuse enterprises with startup. Um, I disagree with that. And the startup culture here in Northeast, typically, these are very raw concept actually. If I have to say, people are going after innovation. They innovate something, and that is not of a market use. I mean, that cannot become a startup. Although they take away a lot of our startup funds, they eat most of the funds away. They take the grants, they do their research, and they just wind it off. And that's a total misuse of the resource, to be precise. So we have to think how the startup actually should happen. So if you see the graph here, 2022, in fact, from 2020 onward, we have been having DPIT registered startup at a level of 15,000 plus every year. So these are unique ideas basically. What is, do you have any idea what is startup registration? Anybody? You can chat box में आप डाल सकते हो उसको. Do you have any idea what is a startup, or maybe what is a DPIT registration? No. No idea. Gajendra says no. Himakshi says no. Anybody else or rest are gone? Just asking. We'll come to that. We'll come to that. I'm sure it will take some more time to people, so that people can open up. Akash Patel, no. So this is what actually is. So nobody, it gives us benefit in terms of relaxation in document needs for the company. Ronit Chaudhary says that. Okay. So what I would say, DPIT is like a patent, Indian patent आप बोल सकते हो उसको. आपका जो concept है, government will recognize that to be unique in all forms of it. Like there is no duplicacy of idea. वो किसी ने इंडियन मार्केट में उसको किया नहीं. I mean, officially it will be recognized. So if you see that kind of certification, yes, of course, the benefits of getting the startup registration, there are huge lot of it. I mean, there are n number of things I can list it. Startup होने का बहुत सारा benefits है. So we'll discuss maybe some other time, not now. Startup is a whole chapter altogether. So if you see that number of ideas, if I go by simply the number of ideas, 15,000 plus unique ideas come to Indian market. And if you see number of startups till today, 2023 of November 2023, it has crossed 1 lakh now. This year it has crossed 1 lakh. Total number of startups in India. And it recently one news article came up, no, like it's the 4th fastest growing startup ecosystem. So this is what is happening here. I mean, number of unique ideas, certified unique ideas have grown up very fast. Now Northeast is lagging behind. We'll come to that also. So this is the situation. Every year, at least 15,000 unique idea is getting registered in India. Now it will cross more than 20,000 because a lot of things are coming up in the startup ecosystem. So better numbers are coming up these days. Like one program I am involved in that is also promoting startup, not just startup, other enterprises also. Now, when I say other enterprises, this is the reflection of that. Udyam registration, this is kind of formalization of our economy. Udyam registration is done for small, medium, enterprises, even micro enterprises too these days. So anything related to related to business should have a registration at today's point of time, right? So that's Udyam registration. Any kind of trading activity, that also comes under it. Any kind of manufacturing, it comes under this. Any service sector industry, it will come under this. So if you see this, I'm just giving you a perspective. Top Udyam registration kahan pe ho raha hai? If you see the graph, it is Gujarat maximum. It's more than 10 lakh registered units. Then you see Karnataka, it is more than 8 lakh registered units. If you see West Bengal, it is more than 5 lakh, almost 5 lakh registered units. But when you see Assam, it is 2, and the rest of all Northeast taken together, I don't think it will cross more than 3 lakh unit. So this is the level. I would not say this is our weakness. This is the scope where we can chip in actually. I'm not saying everybody to become an entrepreneur. No, we should not become. First, we should get a job, fulfill all our basic needs. Then if we are confident we can explore, then we should come here. This is a very, at times you will feel blank. So you need some experience before you walk into this zone. So everybody is talking about becoming entrepreneur, but it's really difficult at times. So you have to understand that. So we'll come to those pitfalls later on. We'll just move on now. Okay, we have seen what is the startup, propensity of having number of registered startup. Also, we have seen number of formal industries or, trading units. We have seen that. Now we have a look at the private equity funding in Indian startup. Okay, This is a graph where we have number of VC deals in India on the left side and average VC deal size in India. You know what is venture capital? Anybody? I'll just check your text if you have texted any. Any idea on the VC? No. You should read, you should spend time on this kind of topics while you were a student, because I studied this when I was in job actually. So I was late. Gajendra says it's investor. Yeah, precisely. Yes, these are a bunch of people with a lot of money and a lot of experience, and they decide whether to invest in your idea or not. So it's a formal structure. It's not just market se paisa uthaya hum log ne. So they will buy your stake, correct? Who got some equity? It's not equity. They buy the equity from you, from your company. I mean, you will sell them some shares of your company to this private equity. So, anyways, you will get to know more about this in your classes also. I'm sure you will have in engineering also. You come to our department, and some of the hints that you will get here. Otherwise, you can always use the internet platform to understand, listen to some of the podcast. So if I have to summarize here, average VC deal size in India is 16 million US dollar. I mean, 1.15 crore kind of, at least. And every company getting that kind of investment. I mean, I'm not considering Zomato or bigger houses, but on an average, I'm saying average ticket size is of 16 USD million. Then if I have to say number of VC deal that happens nowadays, last 2022, it was 1600 plus. And this year, I think if you see the number of unicorns and everything, these figures will go up in fact. So that is the outlook. पैसा लोग तो लगा रहा है इंडियन स्टार्टअप्स में. Okay, so this is about the new concept, the startup culture. Okay, the startup में main player है हम लोग का ये private equity players ही है. They are the main players. In fact, they have developed more competency than the bank and the government. Banks and government are following now. Government अपना equity खड़ा कर रहे हैं अभी भी. कुछ private banks भी अपना venture fund लेके रखा हुआ है अभी. So they are late movers, but private VCs have done much better in this space. So you will see number of angel investors and other things nowadays coming up. This is the banking scenario. How the banks are putting in money in different sector. Just to give you an understanding what is here in this graph, I mean this table. This is the amount of money banks have lended to different sector. Okay, I'll just show you. Agriculture में 22 मार्च तक 15 लाख crore at least, if I have to round it off, 15 लाख crore का इन्वेस्टमेंट लोन दिया हुआ है मार्केट में. इंडस्ट्री में MSME अगर देखे, MSME एंड लार्ज मिला के 35 lakhs crore का लोन दिया हुआ है. I mean, just don't go by the crore also, just see the numbers here. एक है 35, एक है 15 लाख. फिर आपको मिलेगा कंज्यूमर लोन मिलेगा यहाँ पे. दिस इज कंज्यूमर लोन, ओके, जिसमें 33 लाख का है. फिर आप नीचे आइए, नॉन फूड क्रेडिट या अदर नॉन फूड क्रेडिट, ये जो बैंक गारंटी वगैरह होता है हम लोग का, यू विल कम टू नो. तो टोटल लोन आपका अगर देखे ना, यहाँ पे करोड़ वाला पार्ट छोड़ दीजिए, इसमें ही करोड़ प्लस है. 1 crore 18 लाख का इन्वेस्टमेंट बैंक ने करके रखा हुआ है इंडियन बिजनेस सिनेरियो में. बिजनेस इंक्लूड्स एग्रीकल्चर, इंडस्ट्री, सर्विसेज, सब कुछ, ऑटो लोन, कार लोन, जो भी है सब इंक्लूडेड. तो इसमें तो पैसा लगा हुआ है ना. तो दिस इज अ साइज ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट. 20,000 crore का इन्वेस्टमेंट है. I mean, allocation है, not even investment. Takers are very less. If you see the green column, this is the utilization level. सरकार ने 20,000 crore का बजट सैंक्शन कर दिया है, but there are hardly 8,000 crore का टेकर्स है. मैंने प्रपोजल आया है जिसमें गवर्नमेंट ने फंडिंग किया है. ओके, So I'm just giving you some fact check कर रहा है हम लोग यहाँ पे market में actually क्या चल रहा है. If I have to tell about the banks, बैंक इससे बहुत ज़्यादा पैसा लगा के रखा हुआ है. 35 lakh crore only in industries. Agriculture में 15,000 कहाँ 15 lakh crore है. And this is huge. This is a data available on RBI website. I'm saying these are not random data I'm putting in. This is MSME official site of government of India. उन लोग का official site में ये पहला slide वही है. Kind of allocation रहे हैं. So anyways, so I'm just saying कितना पैसा लगा हुआ है अभी market में. Okay. सबका रिटर्न भी आ रहा है. एनपीए इसमें से 10,000 करोड़ होने से भी कोई लॉस नहीं है किसी का. The quantum of money is huge, and they are making good amount of benefit out of it. ठीक है. Now come to the main concern here. Youth unemployment rate from 99 to 2021. 120 करोड़ जनता, वहाँ से let us take 62%, which is around 70 crore youth population है हमारा इंडिया का. Out of that 70 crore, if I have to say it is 28% of that, it will come to around 20 crore, let's say. So 20 crore unemployed youth. Youth in the sense, it is the age between 15 to 35. I'm just out of the youthhood of mine. I'm out of the youth zone now. So this is basically 20 crore, okay, and unemployed. This includes voluntarily unemployed people also, like somebody preparing for ACS, UPSC for long time, somebody preparing for SSC. I mean, I'm just giving you a perspective. Government job for, let's say, 3-4 years. So they are unemployed for this set of, this period, right? So they are also considered unemployed. Over and above the unskilled unemployed people, those who are, those who did not even go to school, they are also unemployed. Some are, without any skill, so they are not getting any job. They are also unemployed. So this is the situation. But I don't think this unemployment has ever been a problem to India, because अगर ये 20 crore का complaint होता ना, situation have been very difficult in India. सबको कुछ ना कुछ मिल रहा है. और अगर हम लोग देखें बीपीएल फैमिलीज में आज का डेट में 12 लाख रुपया का गवर्नमेंट स्कीम ही आता है इन ईयर. दिस इज द लेवल ऑफ गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट पीपल आर गेटिंग. यू जस्ट कैलकुलेट, एक घर मिल जाता है उसको राशन मिल जाता है, उसको बहुत सारा चीज मिल जाता है इन्हें. हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस मिल जाता है, देन एक ट्रैवल भी फ्री है साल में, देखो इंडिया है ना. सो ऑल दोस थिंग मिला के एक गरीब को भी आज का दिन में 10-12 लाख का मिलता है पैकेज है. सो दैट्स व्हाई नोबडी इज कंप्लेनिंग एक्चुअली. दैट इज हाउ द थिंग्स आर बीइंग रन इन दिस कंट्री. एटलीस्ट एजुकेशन वाइज इट हैज कम डाउन. सो दिस इज द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ टुडेज डेट. पैसा कहाँ है, जॉब क्या है, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट क्या है, दिस इज इट. सो आई जस्ट open up for you all to what is your key takeaway. This is my takeaway on the previous few slides, and I just want to know what is your takeaway from this few slides that I have shared with you. I think we are half an hour done. You can put the thoughts on your chat box on the Google Meet itself. Then I can go ahead. I'll go with the startup kind of pitching for you guys. Ma'am, any thought on this by you, so that students can correlate? I think we should get some questions now on this situation. कैसा है? I mean, what do you feel? सब पॉजिटिव दिख रहा है यहाँ पे या सब नेगेटिव दिख रहा है आप लोग को? I have time. I'll wait for 5 minutes because without these responses, I cannot move ahead. Gajendra, you may speak. You are muted.
हेलो
Yeah, Gajendra, please go ahead.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर
Yeah, good morning, Gajendra.
सर एक क्वेश्चन पूछना था कि जैसे आपने उसमें दिखाया कि यूटिलाइजेशन बहुत कम है
Yes.
ऐसा क्यों है
There are several factors. इसमें देखिए गवर्नमेंट ने जितना एलोकेशन किया है कुछ कुछ सेगमेंट में किया है, तो उस पर्टिकुलर सेगमेंट हम लोग का फोकस सेगमेंट बोलते हैं. जैसे कि आप मान लो प्रायोरिटी सेक्टर लेंडिंग बोल के एक चीज है. जैसे कि आपका मान लीजिए हाईवे कंस्ट्रक्शन हो गया है, नेशनल प्रायोरिटी सपोज है, लेट्स से, तो हाईवे का प्रोजेक्ट्स बनना पड़ेगा उतना सो दैट मनी कैन बी यूटिलाइज. सिमिलरली लेट्स से एमएसएमई में, इंडस्ट्री सेक्टर में, लेट्स से हम लोग स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन बना रहे हैं जिसमें हम लोग ने एप्लीकेशन इनवाइट किया है कि आप भैया आके यहाँ पे फैक्ट्री लगाओ, बट देयर आर नो प्रपोजल्स. मान लीजिए देयर वर सम स्पेशल इकोनॉमिक जोन इन वेस्ट बंगाल 10 years बैक जिसमें टाटा ने अप्लाई किया था, बट दे वर नॉट गिवन द स्लॉट. अगर वो लोग आ जाते गवर्नमेंट का भी एक सब्सिडी मिल जाता उन लोग को, बट द थिंग डिड नॉट टर्न अप. तो ऐसा क्या है, वो 10,000 करोड़ का प्रोजेक्ट became null and void, right? Nobody could utilize that 10,000 crore. So same thing. अगर यहाँ पे मान ले तेजपुर में हम लोग एक फैक्ट्री का स्पेस बना के रखा है, we are inviting people to come and set up factories in Tezpur, and there are no takers. So what will happen to that allocation? It will go back, right?
yes
So that's where I'm saying कि people should come up with projects, viable projects. I mean आज का डेट में अगर आप देखेंगे, अर्लियर क्या होता था, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स को बहुत खराब नजर से देखा जाता था, है ना, कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स. लेकिन कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स मोस्टली आर इंजीनियर्स, करेक्ट? दे आर द मोस्ट क्वालिफाइड पीपल टू बिकम अ कॉन्ट्रैक्टर. और जो कॉन्ट्रैक्टर इंजीनियर बैकग्राउंड से है, आई मीन ही इज अ वेरी गुड कॉन्ट्रैक्टर. इनफैक्ट वो पीपल मैनेजमेंट, बिकॉज दे ऑल आर लाइक इनटू द जॉब, राइट, टेक्निकली साउंड है. और एक इंडस्ट्री बनाने के लिए if he or she is a mechanical engineer or let's say electrical engineer, सॉफ्टवेयर में कोई अच्छा है तो सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियर है, सॉफ्टवेयर पार्क में they want to start up something, तो those people should come up to take away the projects. वो प्रोजेक्ट लेने वाला है ही नहीं. 20,000 करोड़ का प्रोजेक्ट है, 10,000 का 5,000 का यूटिलाइजेशन है. You just imagine kind of people are busy with their 1 crore package, 50 lakh package. कोई तो busy with 50,000. In fact, for us also, I mean, I convince myself that way. Yes, ठीक है. I fulfilled all my basic needs in last 12 years. I had my fancy bike, एक लिया था, all mobile phones, all laptops, है ना, जितना भी गैजेट अच्छा आता है वो खरीद लेते थे. I used to have a car of my own choice. Oh, that phase is over now. I mean, it has taken a toll on me. In fact, we realize it very late. People of much younger age who had controlled their these cravings, and they're in a much better position than us. That's how the things are happening these days. So, anyways, any more thoughts?
okay thank you sir
Yeah. So I'll just go through the slide, what I'm trying to convey here. Skill and competency, because you are a student, you have good amount of time to get yourself skilled and develop the competencies. That's why this takeaway. If you have a certified skill set,
Sir,
the world has a lot to offer you. You have to have a certification of the skill that you have. Google पे जाके गूगल सर्टिफाइड कुछ कोर्स कर लेंगे ना, यू पुट इट इन लिंक्डइन, दैट हैज सम वैल्यू, ओके, बट आप जानते हो इट हैज नॉट नेवर बीन सर्टिफाइड, इट हैज नो वैल्यू, यू कैन नॉट राइट इट एनीवेयर, ठीक है। यूनिवर्सिटी में आप एक फ्रेंच का कोर्स कर लिया है एंड यू हैव परस्यूड इट नाइसली, आपने सीख लिया है, यू हैव बीन सर्टिफाइड, यू कैन पुट इट ऑन सीवी, माने इट इज वैलिड बिकॉज इट इज सर्टिफाइड, you know a foreign language, आप चाइनीज सीख लिए है, you know a foreign language, so that's how it has to be certified. आज का दिन में I mean certification and globally certified होना चाहिए. I mean somebody should be able to verify your certification online itself. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई किसी से कर लिया and आप सर्टिफाइड हो गए, नो, अच्छा जगह से करना है सर्टिफिकेशन. और कंपिटेंसी क्रिएट करने के लिए यू हैव टू एक्सप्लोर जहाँ पे वो आपका स्किल काम आए, यू हैव टू टेस्ट योर स्किल कि वो हो इज वर्किंग और नॉट, ठीक है. देन स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम ग्रोथ, इसका जो ग्रोथ है ना, इट्स मोर देन 20% नाउ, 20% से ज्यादा ग्रोथ दिखाता है हमारा स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम में. बी द काइंड ऑफ प्रॉफिट डे बुक, उसका एक ग्रोथ जर्नी इटसेल्फ इज अ इंस्पायरिंग वन स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम का. The slide which I have shown you, that also reflects the same. पहले 4-5 हजार स्टार्टअप DPIT रजिस्ट्रेशन लेके आता था, आजकल 20 प्लस आता है, 20,000 प्लस. So this is the kind of growth we are seeing now in last 7-8 years. Northeast का potential, yes, we are having lot of potential. अपना existing businesses को भी हम लोग rejuvenate कर देते ना, फिर भी हो जाएंगे हम लोग. I mean there is a scope to refurbish, I would say refurbish. पुराना लैपटॉप हम लोग refurbish करके यूज करते हैं, it is usable. Same way we can do refurbish, we can innovate and start new things. Lot of opportunity North East में. फिर availability of finance, इसका तो बात ही नहीं करना है, पैसा बहुत है, there are no takers. बस bankable project होना चाहिए, government approve होने लायक project होना चाहिए, money, there is no dearth of money. Okay. Unemployment, it can never be disadvantage for us. And people from outside, they are taking advantage of this base of 20 crore, those who are unemployed. I mean, this gig culture and everything has come just because of this. So people are getting small certificates and getting engaged online mode and all, So unemployment, 20 crore, people are using that as a base for starting many ventures, in fact. So I'll move, next. So this is the problem area. If you see where entrepreneurship, skilling, startup, MSME, everything is linked, career, academic, sub linked है इसमें. So employment and livelihood for everyone is a concern. So this is a big area. And there is an underlying layer into this, which is quality lifestyle and happiness index. See, somebody may be employed, but he is not having a good life. So there is a problem in the next level. Employment होने से भी somebody might be suffering. I mean, right जगह में नहीं है, suppose, let's say, he is not meant for that kind of job. So that person suffers. Similarly, livelihood है, पैसा घर में आ रहा है, he is earning good, he is able to save, he is able to invest, but he is not happy. ऐसा भी है, resourceful people are there who are not happy. So happiness index is a altogether different concept. So फर्स्ट लेवल में ही अगर हम लोग देख ले इसको ना, बिकॉज वी डू नॉट हैव एम्प्लॉयमेंट फॉर एवरीवन, livelihood of many are at risk. This is the problem statement of our trust actually. That's why I'm putting it here, because we have worked on this to arrive actually what we want to do in future. This is our problem statement. क्योंकि सबके पास एम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं है, सबका लाइवलीहुड नहीं आ रहा है ठीक से, लोगों का लाइफ क्वालिटी में थोड़ा प्रॉब्लम है एंड लोग खुश नहीं है. दिस इज द प्रॉब्लम. इफ आई हैव टू जस्ट समराइज द होल थिंग, बेस्ड ऑन दिस व्हाट वी डू, वी हैव टू डू सम मार्केट रिसर्च. क्यों हम लोग ऐसे बोल रहे हैं, माने व्हाट इज द एविडेंस, वो फर्स्ट स्लाइड में आपको दिखाया था ना, एक प्रॉब्लम है बोल के बोलने से नहीं होगा, उसका एक एविडेंस होना चाहिए. सो वी डिड सम रिसर्च जिसमें we search for information, basically secondary data है ये. तो कहाँ से ये सब मिलता है? अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट कितना है, ग्रोथ ऑफ इंडियन पॉपुलेशन क्या रेट में बढ़ रहा है, एक पेंशनर का एवरेज पेंशन कितना होता है, बैंक का लोन, जस्ट लाइक द स्लाइड्स आई हैव शोन यू नो. These are some of the things we had considered before concluding कि yes, there is a problem in this sector. ठीक है. So market research is important. Then we list the problems. यहाँ पे जितना भी प्रॉब्लम है सबको हम लोग ने लिस्ट किया इन 5 डिफरेंट लेवल. लेट्स से एक पर्सनल लेवल में क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम होता है एक आदमी का, वी लिस्टेड इट. फिर एक फैमिली लेवल में वो प्रॉब्लम को कैसे दिखता है, वी हैव लिस्टेड इट. सोसाइटी लेवल में कैसे होगा, लाइक वी आर जस्ट इंक्रीजिंग द स्कोप ऑफ इट, राइट. फिर एक पैन इंडिया लेवल में उसका आउटलुक कैसा है, वो इशू कैसे देखते हैं पॉलिटिशियन लोग या पॉलिसी मेकर्स, हाउ दे सी इट. फिर एक ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव है, ओवरऑल वर्ल्ड में क्या चल रहा है अकॉर्डिंग टू द इंफॉर्मेशन विच इज अवेलेबल. सो अब अगर हम लोग इंडिविजुअल लेवल में देखें, मेरा पर्सनली मैं देखो what kind of education I have received, whether the education I received was certified or not, whether I was able to get a job or not, whether the package जो मिला था मुझे, am I happy with the package or not, मेरा career progression ठीक हो रहा है कि नहीं, retirement plan है कि नहीं मेरा. all those things are personal level, है ना. personally हम लोग ये सब सोचते हैं कि ऐसा होगा कि नहीं हमारे साथ. these are some of the concern of the youth. सिमिलरली हम लोग का फैमिली में वो सेम रिफ्लेक्शन अलग थोड़ा ट्विस्ट एक आ जाता है. फैमिली वाले चाहते हैं कि बंदा को बेटा हमारा बेटी हमारे IIM में पढ़ना चाहिए मैनेजमेंट के लिए, फिर कोई बोलेगा IIT में पढ़ना चाहिए, कोई बोलेगा TU में सीट मिलना ही जरूरी है, NIT में जाना चाहिए. ऑल तक बहुत सारे चीज होता है इसमें. तो फैमिली लेवल में क्या क्या होता है हमारा डिस्कशन, वो एक प्रॉब्लम एरिया है. जैसे कि सरकारी ब्लू चिप कंपनी MNC, हम लोग का ये होता है टारगेट रहता है जनरली, और जितना हो सके जल्दी होना चाहिए. कुछ भी देखो आप, ग्रेजुएशन हो आपका, ये हो, सुनर द बेटर, जल्दी नौकरी होना चाहिए, एवरीथिंग फास्ट फास्ट फास्ट, सबको फास्ट चाहिए सब कुछ, है ना. सो दिस इज एट अ फैमिली लेवल वी हैव इश्यूज. एक प्रेशर रहता है हमारे पास, शादी भी इनफैक्ट जल्दी होना चाहिए, बच्चा भी जल्दी होना चाहिए. ऑल दोस cringe kind of thoughts are still persisting in our society, family level में. तो सोसाइटी लेवल में तो बात ही मत बोलो आप. देयर आर एक्चुअली देयर इज नो कलेक्टिव सपोर्ट मैकेनिज्म इन आवर सोसाइटी. कोई सपोर्ट नहीं करते एक दूसरे को. लोग एडवाइस देंगे आपको, बट नोबडी विल सजेस्ट यू द राइट वे. अब बड़ा सोसाइटी में नहीं जाए, एक माइक्रो लेवल में आपका नेबरहुड का 15-20 ले लो आप, उसमें भी आपको नहीं मिलेगा कोई अच्छा एडवाइस देने वाला आदमी, unless you have access to some good resourceful neighbor. जनरली नहीं होता है वो चीज. सेम रिफ्लेक्शन नेशनल लेवल में भी है. पॉलिसी लेवल कुछ फेलियर्स है हम लोग का. देयर इज अ स्किल एंड डिमांड गैप, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट लेवल ऑफ द कंट्री. तो वो सब लेके नेशनल लेवल में हम लोग का प्रॉब्लम्स आ जाता है. मतलब पॉलिसी लेवल में जो जो किया हुआ है दैट इज नॉट सेटिस्फाइंग आवर इंडिविजुअल रिक्वायरमेंट. मोस्टली अपीजमेंट होता है, रिजर्वेशन वगैरह का इशू चलता है आजकल. आई मीन दैट्स हाउ द प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट्स, राइट. ग्लोबल, आई विल नॉट टॉक अबाउट द ग्लोबल पर्सपेक्टिव. सो दिस इज हाउ वी लिस्ट द काइंड ऑफ इश्यूज which may arise at different level, personal level, family level, society level. ये प्रोडक्ट डिजाइनिंग का भी काम आता है. प्रॉब्लम मैपिंग इज अ पार्ट ऑफ आवर एंटरप्रेन्योरियल जर्नी. पहले हमको तो लिस्ट करना है हम लोग को कहाँ जाना है, कौन सा प्रॉब्लम एड्रेस कर रहे हैं हम लोग. देन वी हैव टू मैप द प्रॉब्लम. ये प्रॉब्लम अलग अलग लेवल में कैसे कैसे अफेक्ट करता है लोगों को, फैमिली लेवल में कैसे, सोसाइटी लेवल में कैसे अफेक्ट करता है, ऑल दो स्टफ. सो आफ्टर लिस्टिंग इट वी ड्रॉ द मैप एक्चुअली. तो यहाँ पे कौन सा इशू के साथ किसका मैक्सिमम लिंक होता है, दैट इज द एरिया वेयर वी वांट टू वर्क इन. तो जनरली क्या होता है, इंडिविजुअल लेवल में मैक्सिमम प्रॉब्लम का हमको इंटरसेक्शन पॉइंट मिलता है. दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव लेफ्ट द अदर पार्ट्स ब्लैंक. आई एम जस्ट शोइंग यू बिकॉज बाकी पार्ट देने से यू विल नॉट बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई वांटेड टू कन्वे एक्चुअली. तो इंडिविजुअल लेवल में हम लोग का मैक्सिमम प्रॉब्लम कन्वर्जेंस है. सपोज मान लीजिए गवर्नमेंट ने एक पॉलिसी किया, उसका इम्पैक्ट इंडिविजुअल लेवल में मैक्सिमम होता है। आपका सोसाइटी में कुछ प्रॉब्लम चल रहा है, उसका भी इम्पैक्ट एक इंडिविजुअल में हमेशा होता है। तो मैक्सिमम कन्वर्जेंस इंटरसेक्शन क्या है, इंडिविजुअल लेवल में होता है। तो ये है वो लेवल, ठीक है। सो इसमें हम लोग को काम करना है, इंडिविजुअल एंड सोसाइटी लेवल। हम लोग ने जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन रजिस्टर किया है, इट्स अ ट्रस्ट, इट्स नॉट अ कंपनी। दैट्स व्हाई वी आर नॉट considering ourselves as a startup, but it is an enterprise. Okay, there is a difference between startup and enterprise. And but our intervention will be mostly at society level and individual level. So this is how problem map helps you to identify where you are going to place yourself. We are done with the second part of the presentation. We have covered a quick run through. What is the problem? How we decide what problem we are going to address. Okay, this is the first decisioning that we do. मुझे क्या product innovate करना है? What kind of innovation? वो decision लेने से पहले we have to understand what is the problem. ये problem statement बनाना is the first part. और problem area identification जो है एक entrepreneur के लिए वो सबसे critical part है. So how do we arrive at the problem area? We have to do some background research. वो research करने के बाद you will be able to understand how the problems are happening at different level, how it is perceived at different level. अलग अलग level है, individual level, family level, society level, pan India level, global level. That you have to distinguish. Okay. And once you do that listing, you have to do a problem mapping जहाँ पे आपको connects link draw करना है, कौन सा प्रॉब्लम के साथ किसका लिंक है। जिस प्रॉब्लम के साथ मैक्सिमम कनेक्शन दिखेगा, दैट इज द एरिया वेयर यू शुड वर्क। एंड दिस विल वेरी फ्रॉम पर्सन टू पर्सन, सबका एक अलग होता है आउटलुक, सो इट विल वेरी फ्रॉम पर्सन टू पर्सन। मैं जहाँ पे दिख रहा हूँ वो शायद आपको अलग लेवल में दिखेगा। कोई सोचेगा कि पैन इंडिया लेवल में कुछ होना चाहिए, पॉलिसी लेवल में कुछ मॉडिफिकेशन होना चाहिए, बाय डिफॉल्ट ये सब ठीक हो जाएगा। Somebody might think in that line, so he may act accordingly, and accordingly his customer segment will be different. Let's say for us, our customer segment is B2C, direct business to customer है। अगर कोई सोच रहा है कि मैं पॉलिसी लेवल में कुछ इनोवेट कर देता हूँ, then I can solve the problem in a much better way. तो his customer will be government, B2G, है ना? That's how the difference will happen. Like for me, we perceive कि our main customer should be customers as a whole, not a government. हम लोग गवर्नमेंट का पॉलिसी में हम लोग कुछ चेंजेस नहीं लाना चाहते हैं. We want to work in a customer level. So that will help you to decide what kind of organization you want to become. So this is the first exercise that we do generally. So what's your plan after knowing the situation and learning what is entrepreneurship and how a problem is identified? What is your plan now? What you should do ideally? So this is my take. What we can do, we can acquire the right skill. We can get on the job experience. We should have right mix of experience and skill to start somewhere, and we should start early. I mean, we should not wait, because the competition is very stiff. Even entrepreneurship related competitions are also getting bigger and tougher these days. So you can understand what is the speed at which everything is growing. Any question? I'll wait for 5 more minutes. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. We should be able to wind up in next 30 minutes. Prayash ki ba ko ba? Prayash, would you like to add something? I'll have to name some of you now randomly. लोग भाग जाएंगे अभी. Anyways, so this is I'm sure you will have some of your friends and family who are already into business. So you might take some, yes, why do startups in India do not sustain? I mean, this is a question I would like to address at the end. Okay. This is very critical, in fact. So people, they, often say entrepreneurship is a career. Just like IAS, everyone is not IAS, everyone cannot be a doctor, everyone cannot be an engineer. Same way, everybody cannot be an entrepreneur because it's a career option actually. You have to choose this path, and we have a list of surveys which are being done in on the failed startups, and there are good amount of research which has gone into why do we fail most of the time. So I'll answer you at the end. Mahabir Pratap Singh, thank you for the question. I'll answer you at the end. So I'll move on. What is your plan? You have not said anything. I'm supposing you're hiding your plans now, but you should come up. You should open up. I'm sure your skill, that part is taken care of. You need a job to, apply your skill the moment you pass from Techu University. And once you are done with your experience part, on the job experience part, provided you land up in the right job, you don't end up, being a tech support guy in a top MNC. I don't want you to be that. In fact, that is the wrong place where you will be belonging. You should not go there. My advice upfront, in fact. I have seen many of our friends, Yeah, ma'am, please go ahead.
Himanshu, since they are not asking any question to you, so I have one particular request. Can you please highlight the third component, that right mix of skill, so that at least if they are preparing also to be an entrepreneur, they can understand that what sort of skills actually they need to start this journey.
Yeah. So, ma'am, what I meant with the third point is right mix of skill and experience. Basically, skill in the sense, let's say we are, case in hand is the BTech student right now, let's say. So some will be mechanical engineer, some will be, civil engineers, some will be software engineers. I mean, depending on the streams they are in. So what will happen? Let's say somebody is doing IT, okay, BTech IT, and that person lands up in a construction firm. I mean, the skill he had acquired in last 4 years is not relevant to the kind of on-the-job experience he is having, right?
True.
So what will happen when he, anyway, he will learn. It's a survival strategy. People learns anything and everything. So people, they will learn. That is not an issue. But that person had a mindset of a software engineer, and he's working in a, a construction firm or a big construction company, let's say, or let's say he is in a big manufacturing unit. Let's say for Tata he is working. I'll consider that also. Like he's going with the brand, let's say. But the kind of experience might not be relevant. So I would suggest he could have chosen a software firm, product development. Maybe in a bank also we have, IT people who develop like products like credit cards, debit cards, kaisa hona chahiye, net banking platform kaisa hona chahiye. I mean, we have options. Problem is most of the time we flow with the company's decision. Company बोलता है आप इसमें करो, अच्छा है आपके लिए, you will get promotion fast. तो वहां पे हम लोग का मिस्टेक होना शुरू हो जाता है. We deviate from our core competency. तो हम लोग एक competency basically create कर रहे हैं, and with time we sometimes lose focus on that. So that's when kind of experience we are supposed to get, we miss it. That's it. because see, somebody wants to become entrepreneur. Let's say he wants to set up a software farm, he wants to develop some software in his own farm. उसको तो एक एक्सपीरियंस चाहिए जहाँ पे वो सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट कर पाए. फर्स्ट थिंग, वो एक्सपीरियंस अगर उसको नहीं मिल रहा है ना, he cannot risk it in second part of it. I mean his journey. एक्सपीरियंस जॉब में तो मिल रहा है, लेकिन वो रिलेवेंट एक्सपीरियंस नहीं मिल रहा है उसको, तो वो होना जरूरी है. सो while taking an offer from a prospective employer, one should see the job profile first. जैसे कि हम लोग का MBA में एक है ना मैम, लाइक वी आर फ्रॉम सेल्स एंड मार्केटिंग मेजर लेके पास किया है, एंड फाइनली वी आर सिटिंग इन ऑपरेशनल जॉब जहाँ पे नो सेल्स, नथिंग, नो मार्केटिंग का फ्लेवर, कुछ नहीं है. जैसे कि we are not getting the scope to utilize our skill. मार्केटिंग का तो हम लोग का नॉर्थ ईस्ट में स्कोप ही बहुत कम है. वेरी फ्यू पीपल एक्चुअली गेट द मार्केटिंग जॉब. So same way for a BTech student, the specialization he is in, if he is not able to get the job of that kind, I mean, he will have trouble in latter half. I mean, when he plans for his future, see, early retirement is a trend now. I mean, people, they don't want to risk. At 60, I will do something with the corpus that I get. Nobody gets a corpus nowadays. You don't have a pension fund nowadays. Earlier, in fact, ma'am, I think she will be getting a good corpus. But for 2008 onwards, there is no corpus for anybody.
No, I am also not getting. I am not getting.
That's what I'm saying, ma'am. See, nobody gets a corpus, so you have to prepare. You have to prepare early retirement. Let's say by 40, you should be, having a concrete plan that what I will be doing after 50. I mean, retirement age cannot go. If you are even planning for early retirement, it should not be after 50. It should be at 50 at the latest, so that you can start your third innings by when you have still a lot of energy. I mean, 50s are great. I mean, to start something new. But for us, we chose. I mean, by 40 we should be settled. I mean, for me, I had decided after 35, my youthful days are over. By 40, I should be ready. So I have 5 years in time to have something concrete for myself. So that's how it works. So start for your future early. I mean, this is a plan which I am doing for myself because I am a financial planner for others. So I thought like I should plan for myself. So what happens in the job, generally you get 5 to 10% of increment if you don't change your company. And 5% increment if you are not getting a good grade in the financial year is not able to even beat the inflation. So अगले साल में वो पैसा से अपना बाजार का सामान भी खरीद नहीं पाओगे उसी प्राइस में. So you have to look at it that way. So same company, if you are staying for a long time, you become incumbent government kind of situation हो जाता है. So that's it. So you have to plan your future. So
Thank you, Himanshu.
Yeah, I'll move. So this is the last part. What is my plan? As I said, we have started Kalpavriksha Trust in 2022 after I left my job, regular job. I was in banking for quite some time. That's 12 years. And before even MBA, I was working as a sales analyst in Chennai in a company called Allsec Technologies, which was dealing with Dell computers. Dell computers में जितना भी sales होता था, I was working as a sales analyst. वो sales pattern हम लोग को judge करना पड़ता था. We had some experience on that. Then after leaving my job, I thought I should learn a new skill. So there were a lot of ideation का competition हुआ करता है आजकल. So I applied in many, but I could crack the TIS Mumbai ideation competition जो है social entrepreneurship के. They liked our business idea, the one which I showed you, livelihood का ऊपर हम लोग काम करते हैं अभी. And they thought it can be incubated in their institute. So they gave me the opportunity. I think we are around 6 of us, pan-India, who are in the 6th cohort. So I'm happy that I could learn something great. After 12 years of my MBA, I mean, I achieved the books. For that matter, MBA के time में भी किताब कम पढ़ा करते थे हम. But again, this time I have been reading very hard. I've been going through a lot of research paper and all. Then I'm going through a lot of business plan, existing plan, case studies. हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं अभी. So these are giving me ideas how to go ahead actually. So a new skill, I would say I'm pursuing something new. Also, वो skill को utilize करने के लिए you need some experience. So I have taken up a job in Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship as a project manager. So they are correlated, and this will help me to grow. My trust is still there. I mean, we are in the second year now, and this job is, giving me the opportunity to explore. I mean, ऐसा नहीं कि हम सब बंद करके I am in a job. No, 5 days I'm working, but anyway they are giving us the liberty, because it's a enterprise. I mean, Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship, they are promoting entrepreneurship, so they don't mind us to become entrepreneur. They are agreeing on that. So that's the best part of doing this work. So this is my plan. I have plans to make Kalpa Briksha Trust an impact organization to create social equity. So this is our organizational, I would say, the vision statement, I would say. So how we are doing it, how we are supporting our own vision. Basically, we design and implement livelihood intervention program. Basically, we are into designing part. We do a lot of study on the government policies and other schemes which are being implemented. We try to analyze them. We do market research on them. Then we try to fine tune them. That is how we develop new designs. And implementation, yes, we do strategy planning for implementing such projects. This is where we get some money. Okay. Research work, yes. We are, my co-founder, she is also a pass out of Teshpur University only. She takes care of the research and analysis work. She is Dr. Nandini Bora. And we also have business development and incubation program. We do it for young startups. Basically, we are focusing on the youth. So our segment is the youth, basically. Students like you and entrepreneurs who are less than 35 years of age. We also do, promote grassroots level sports, village level में हम लोग ये काम कर रहे हैं अभी. So there we get funding actually. Yeah, we are keeping this chapter just to get, CSR funds के लिए हम लोग ये component रखे हुए हैं. CSR comes in this segment as well as the last segment, financial literacy among children and youth. For these two parts, we are open to take, we apply for funds and we get it. That's how it works. So if you see the whole organizational objective, there is income, there is spending opportunities for us, and there is CSR opportunity. We are creating a platform so that companies can, execute CSR plans through us. पूरा नॉर्थ ईस्ट में देखे ना, और पैन इंडिया का ओनली 1% CSR फंड हम लोग लाते हैं. नॉर्थ ईस्ट में CSR एग्जीक्यूट करने वाला आदमी है नहीं. So there is a lot of scope if you are thinking, CSR does not mean हम लोग ये we are distributing clothes during floods. No, it's not about that. It's about creating platforms for, let's say, virtual education. हो सकता है. I mean, I'm just giving a perspective. CSR is not just about donating food to the food in orphanage, donating clothes and all. No, it's not about that. We should change that mindset. CSR is as good as a corporate affair. But the only thing, it has to impact the society directly without the involvement of the interest of that organization who is funding it. Okay. So this is how CSR works. So we are also, trying to develop this competency in our organization so that we can handle more and more CSR projects. So this is what we do, and how we do, I'll just take you through. So this is a brand, Nosera. We are working with street vendors. जो चाय बेचते हैं रास्ते में, अनहाइजीनिक वे हो सकता है, आप कुछ भी बोलो, उसका दुकान दिखने में अच्छा नहीं है, लोग उसका दुकान में आना बंद कर दिया है पोस्ट कोविड, कुछ भी ले लो आप. All are addressed with this innovation. I would say innovation बहुत सारा मिलेगा ऐसा आपको, but you will not see companies directly delivering to these counters. And these people are never trained. So what we have done, we have taken up the training component, and the company has taken up the pain of, putting the item onto the stall directly without the involvement of a CNF agency. So company is doing their part, and we are doing our part in training these people to how to run. I'll just show you what is the level of money that we as a trust get. See, nobody gives you free money. Okay, you have to contribute, then only you will get some money. I'll just give you an example. ये दो आदमी का only for the month of December in 22 कितना पैकेट SKU आप समझ जाओगे ना? What is SKU? If not, yes, Google search. प्रोडक्ट डिस्क्रिप्शन होता है, वो एक प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी होता है. लेट्स से 20 रुपया का चाय, 10 रुपया का चाय एंड 30 रुपया का चाय. नंबर ऑफ सेशेट, 10 रुपया वाला 4950 बेचा है एक महीने में, और 20 रुपया वाला 600 बेचा है, 30 वाला 50 बेचा है. एंड दिस इज द कमीशन दैट द ट्रस्ट इज रिसीविंग. हम लोग काम किया है बोल के वी आर रिसीविंग इट. 10 रुपया वाला चाय में हर कप में 50 पैसा हम लोग को मिलता है. Just because we are giving them a trained resource, they are giving us this money. We are not begging for money. Okay, we are an expert in the field. We are good in training. We change people mind. That's why we charge them. तो हमारा 5% है 10 रुपया वाला प्रोडक्ट में, 20 रुपया वाला प्रोडक्ट में हमारा 10% मार्जिन है, और 30 रुपया वाला प्रोडक्ट में 30% मार्जिन में हम लोग काम करते हैं. So you can understand how much actually a CNF agency earns. राइट, एक काउंटर में एक महीना में आवर ट्रस्ट गॉट 3,800 रुपीज. ओके, एंड दिस इज द लेवल. इफ यू जस्ट मल्टीप्लाई इट विथ 10, लेट्स से आई हैव 10 काउंटर्स ओनली, आई एम गेटिंग 38,000. करेक्ट? लेट्स से इट इज हाउ मच, 100 काउंटर्स, 100 आदमी आपके लिए खड़ा है, यू आर गेटिंग 3,80,000 rupees in a month straight. I mean, this is how the calculation works. Okay, so we are trying to not become a CNF, but a partner in the growth story of a startup. Nowsera is a startup basically. They have just brought in this product, ready-made premix chai coffee ka packet laya hai. They wanted some feedback from the market. Nobody is giving a feedback nowadays. So we train these people. लोगों को आप पूछो कि प्रोडक्ट कैसा लगा. So these are the point of touch जहाँ पे फीडबैक हम लोग को मिलता रहता है. तो वो फीडबैक हम लोग कंपनी को प्रोवाइड करते हैं. अकॉर्डिंगली द प्रोडक्ट गेट्स मॉडिफाइड, प्राइस गेट मॉडिफाइड, है ना. फ्लेवर्स हम लोग लाते हैं मार्केट में. इफ यू सी द मेन्यू माइन्यूटली, 15 से ज्यादा प्रोडक्ट है वहां पे. तो मार्केट का फीडबैक मिलता है, इसलिए वो लोग प्रोडक्ट ला पा रहे हैं. So this is one critical area where we are working. This enhances the income of this person also. Just imagine I am earning 50 paisa for selling a cup of tea worth rupees 10 rupees, and this person who is selling it, he is earning 3 rupees. 30% margin में वो काम कर रहा है. Company is happy to give 50% of the MRP. उसका costing और कम है actually. He is making at least 80 पैसा और 90 पैसा में एक कप बना रहा है, वो एक पैकेट आता है उसका, क्योंकि he is producing at a bulk. And this person, he is getting 30% cut. तो उसका तो पहले 5% मार्जिन में काम कर रहा था. ये सब लोग, they were earning around 6 to 7,000 in a month. Now they are earning around 20 to 25,000 in a month. So that's how their life has changed. If you see the whole calculation, number of sachet में आप 3 rupees multiply करके देखो, how much is the money? 4950 into 3, 15,000 तो उसी में बन गया उसका. So there is money. I mean, very small intervention we had designed, and it worked wonderfully. Now the Nowsera brand has a presence pan Northeast. I mean, they have more than 100 stalls, and so it is doing wonderful actually. So this is our first project. We also have a project with the higher education institutes. We have tie up with some of the colleges where we conduct entrepreneurship development course. Then finishing school courses, like it is as basic as, let's say, CV writing and all. So these are some of the things where we get to involve ourselves with other organizations. So this is basically networking. We also partner with, prominent social ventures in the area, like VVL is one, volleyball. We promote volleyball in villages. So the year we started with one team, this year we have two teams in single village. So we are planning to expand now. So with this, we'll have better presence, in fact. So the last slide, pitfalls, where we can go wrong. This is the question one of you asked. Top 10 reasons why a startup fails. Not just a startup, a business venture fails. No market need. Most of the time we bring in products which are not relevant. एक स्मार्टफोन का इतना मार्केट चल रहा है, we try to bring in a smartphone with a feature, let's say 70 megapixel camera. Do you think it is necessary? वो इनोवेशन है, लेट्स से एक कम प्राइस में वी आर ब्रिंगिंग इन 70 मेगापिक्सल कैमरा. कुछ दरकार है उसका मार्केट में? नहीं है ना. 20 मेगापिक्सल का कैमरा भी सेम ही देगा फॉर अ जनरल पर्सन. तो वही है, एक वो रीजन है. फिर वी रन आउट ऑफ कैश. फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग हम लोग का नहीं होता है. वी डोंट हैव द राइट टीम. जैसे कि हम लोग का अभी अपना जो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है यहाँ पे, वी डोंट हैव a technical guy in the sense somebody who has a software का product development का background हो जिसका. So we are looking for a co-founder. So we are moving slow in that segment. So you need to have a right team. Gets outcompeted, that is also one reason. आप जब तक प्रोडक्ट अपना डेवलप कर रहे हो तब तक बाकी बड़ा प्लेयर आ चुके होंगे. they just wipe out the market. Pricing and cost issues, yes, until and unless you have a scale, you cannot, play fair on the pricing part. Poor product design ganda hota hai hum log ka, so people are not buying our products. Poor marketing, we don't have a good presence in the marketing scene hum log ka acha nahi hai. Lack of business model, just like hum log ka abhi revenue model mein we are still working on it. It's a very dynamic thing. Revenue model हम लोग फिर से, और we are working on it just to make sure कि fund keeps on coming in. तो एक revenue model होना अच्छा है. Business model में revenue plays a big role. And there are people who ignore customers. Companies, those who have ignored customer, they are nowhere in the picture. If you go by the book, आप देख लो past history में जो company गायब हो चुके हैं, किस लिए गायब हो गए हैं वो लोग. And product is mistimed. रॉन्ग टाइमिंग. मान लो एडटेक बिजनेस में आप देखोगे बायजूस वगैरह लॉकडाउन में इतना राइज हो गया. नॉर्मल टाइम होता तो कोई जानता ही नहीं होगा इन लोग को, बिकॉज इट वाज टाइम प्रॉपरली. दे गॉट अ गुड रेस्पॉन्स फ्रॉम द मार्केट. रॉन्ग टाइमिंग इज द मेन रीजन मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम. सो इफ यू सी नंबर ऑफ failures, it's 90%. And it's a genuine data. IBM Institute का डाटा है वो. 90% of the startup they fail. और जो 10% है वो पूरा कमा लेता है. That's why we see good number of unicorns, no? तो जो छोटा players था वो गायब हो चुका है, and big players they make a whole lot of money. So that's all. I'm done, ma'am. If you have
Himanshu, I could see some question in the chat box. If you could address those questions.
Yeah. Can you explain the pros and cons of a job in corporate, government, and startup? Or what is CNF? Okay. I have just missed it actually. So pros and cons of a job. Okay. It's very difficult. There is no pro and con as such in general. It depends on the person. Let's say I was in banking. The pros are like, I got the money, I got the experience, people started valuing me as a person. That gave me confidence कि yes, I am of some sense to the society. Okay, these are personal opinion that develops over the time, right? So these are the pros. सोसाइटी में आपका इज्जत होगा, then you will feel good. नहीं तो आपको डिप्रेशन होगा. बहुत सारे डिसीज देखते हो ना, उसको खराब ट्रीटमेंट करने से दे लीव द जॉब इटसेल्फ. वो कमिश्नर था, है ना? तो ऐसा हो सकता है. कोई यूपीएससी पास करके भी ही माइट नॉट बी हैप्पी बिकॉज ही इज नॉट गेटिंग द काइंड ऑफ रेस्पॉन्स ही वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग. तो वो प्रोज एंड कॉन्स इट्स पर्सन टू पर्सन वेरी करेगा. ओके, प्रो तो एक डेफिनेट प्रो है कि यू आर स्टेबल, वो होना चाहिए. दैट गिव्स यू द स्पेस टू थिंक. आपको डर नहीं है कि मेरा कल का घर नहीं चलेगा, टुमारो आई विल हैव नो मनी टू रन माय व्हीकल ऑन द स्ट्रीट. ऐसा नहीं होगा. दैट इज द बेस्ट बेनिफिट. इट गिव्स यू अ कॉन्फिडेंस प्लस द काइंड ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस. अगर रिलेवेंट हो गया, इट्स अ प्लस पॉइंट. सो दैट विल हेल्प यू, यू नो. तो वो प्रोज है. कॉन्स क्या है? बेसिकली जॉब में आप जब जाते हो ना, एक सेट, एक जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन एक होता है ना हम लोग का, वो जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिमिट कर दिया जाता है कि आप क्या कर पाओगे उस काम में, एंड फॉर दैट यू विल बी पेड समथिंग. तो दैट इज द फर्स्ट लिमिटेशन. वो आपको एक वेरी नैरो, अनलेस यू जॉइन इन अ वेरी हाई लेवल पोस्ट. नो, मीडियम लेवल में तो आप नहीं देखोगे, मिड लेवल मैनेजमेंट तक आपको वो नैरो विजन ही दिखेगा. अनलेस यू आर इन अ बोर्ड लेवल, जहां पे आपको विजन को साकार करने के लिए यू हैव टू वर्क ऑन इट. until and unless you reach that level, your vision is narrow only. So you will see a very straight kind of thing. ये broad view नहीं दिखेगा आपको. उससे अच्छा है you अपना startup जब रखोगे अपना, तो you decide what is your vision. I mean you open up your brain then. आपको आदमी चाहिए, you hire that person, you pay him the required amount of money, और the demand market में जो demand है वो satisfy करो उसको, he will work for you. और स्टार्टअप में काम करने का वही एक है. जो स्टार्टअप में आजकल लोग को फाउंडर्स बनना ज्यादा पसंद करते हैं. व्हाई? बिकॉज दैट गिव्स देम द अपॉर्चुनिटी कि हम अपना कैपेसिटी को एक्सप्लोर करें, सो दैट टुमारो आई कैन स्टार्ट माय ओन. सबका मन में वही है. आप ले लो, यू टेक एनी पर्सन, वेदर इज सैलरीड इन अ गवर्नमेंट जॉब और अ प्राइवेट कंपनी, सबका बैक ऑफ माइंड एक चल रहा है ना, हाउ सून आई कैन स्टार्ट समथिंग ऑफ माय ओन. कम से कम एक घर में तो फार्म तो शुरू करेंगे ही करेंगे वो, नहीं तो एक गेस्ट हाउस खोल के बैठेंगे. रिटायरमेंट का पैसा आया है, फ्लैट बुक के, वो गुवाहाटी में हो या शिलोंग में हो, ही विल गिव इट टू ओयो और मे बी एयरबीएनबी. मैंने प्लानिंग उस लेवल में लोगों का हो रखा है आज का दिन. एंड स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम में इन्वेस्ट करने वाला इतना लोग क्यों है? दे वांट टू बिकम को फाउंडर्स. उसमें दे गेट द अपॉर्चुनिटी टू utilize their kind of skills they have acquired. सबको मन है ना, मेरा जो स्किल है कहीं तो अप्लाई करे उसको. एक बैंक वाला बंदा, let's say for me, I was sitting in a bank, I wanted to open a farm. It was not possible till the time I was there in the bank. We had purchased the property, वहां पे हम लोग सिर्फ वो गड्ढा खोद के रखा था, पॉन्ड बना के रखा था, उसमें मछली डालने के लिए भी टाइम नहीं हुआ हम लोग को. That is the kind of limitation the jobs create. You don't get the opportunity to explore whatever resource you have, at least for me. So that is one part. I'm sure your question is answered. Yes. Then Mahabir, he was asking about what is CNF. ये supply chain का part है basically साहब. आपका he is in between the manufacturer and the customer, not customer, retailer. तो full form में आप अगर जाओगे तो he is the kind of clearing agency होता है ना, clearing and forwarding agency. वो supply chain में he is the person who will carry the product to the last mile. तो वो CNF agency होता है. क्लियरिंग एंड आपका फॉरवर्डिंग एजेंट बोलते हैं हम लोग टेक्निकली उसको. क्लियरिंग एंड फॉरवर्डिंग एजेंट इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द सप्लाई चेन. ही मेक्स द प्रोडक्ट अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट. देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ स्कोप इन एंटरिंग दिस सप्लाई चेन. टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज बहुत दरकार है. बीटेक्स आर वेरी टेक्निकल ग्रेजुएट, नॉट बीटेक्स. टेक ग्रेजुएट्स can do very good because they develop that kind of, mindset during their academic curriculum. लॉजिक अच्छा बनता है उसमें. So these are mainly logical world. ये सब बहुत लॉजिक का काम होता है. कॉस्ट मिनिमाइजेशन, ये जितना भी हो वो सब डेवलप करने के लिए ना, यू नीड लॉट ऑफ टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज. ठीक है. एनी मोर क्वेश्चन मैम? I don't say anything, I guess. No.
Yeah, there is no question. Students, do you have any questions? And probably this is a good opportunity for many of you who want to actually have some plan in your mind. And I already know I do not know whether the students are here in this class or not, but some of them are doing some work. I think they have trying for patents and all those things. So probably you have some real questions in your mind. You can ask sir here.
Yeah, we can discuss about ideation. Ideation में क्या क्या जरूरी होता है, ideation phase में at least, and how do we arrive at a problem statement. These are some of the things which are required to foolproof your idea. Most of the time, most of the application get rejected in the ideation phase, because this is from my experience in the project I am in. we receive not less than 300 application in a month. एक competition अगर हम लोग रख देते हैं तो, so we hardly get finally 10 ideas out of those 300. बाकी सब vague होता है. There is no backup.
Okay, so any question? Other questions from your side? Okay, so
I'll just share the feedback form, no ma'am.
Yeah, you can share. I can collect it from them and I'll send it to you.
It's an online form. They can just
you
fill
can
it up.
send.
Yeah, I have shared it on WhatsApp.
Okay.
For that matter, I can put the link here also, I guess. Let me check.
Here you put the link. Those who are here,
Yeah.
probably they could directly give you, or otherwise I'll share it in the classroom. They will provide it.
Okay. I'll put the link here. So do write to me in case if you feel that, and your feedback is important for me actually. Just hold on. Let me get the link. Copy link. I think this will go once we close the call. So that's why.
It's coming. So I got the link. And I'll share the link address in my classroom so that they can provide you the feedback. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Just
I'll put my mail ID also. Just
please do it. Maybe personally they have any queries.
Yeah, that's what. In fact, there is an option in the Google form. They can write their own comments, because that's a private thing. If at all they wish to write something, they want to get some official help, like I'm engaged with MSME, I'm engaged with Startup Assam. So
Alok
Kumar, Alok ji, please go ahead.
Alok, do you have any queries?
Alok ji, go ahead.
No, ma'am.
Oh, by mistake. Fill the feedback to you, and they will, of course, probably they will send it to you. So I hope there is no queries, and if they have any personal queries, or sometimes in group, probably they actually hesitate to ask the questions actually, and this is even a online platform, so it may be difficult for them to connect to you also. So hopefully they will do in future. So
I'm absolutely okay with that.
Yeah, I understand. So I now request Jayashree to offer a vote of thanks to Himanshu. Jayashree, please.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, sir, for such an insightful and impactful session that you have provided to us. I think within a very short period of time, you have enlightened us with so much valuable information and practical tips also. and the way you have related the real world examples with this entrepreneurial concept, that is just remarkably excellent. And I hope the students, even we also, like, we can resonate the things, like how we should start navigating the entrepreneurial landscape from now itself, even if we haven't thought of that. And definitely it's a high time that the students, basically the youths, should start thinking or becoming to be job creator instead of job seeker, I guess. And the information and the knowledge that you have shared would give them the framework, like how to proceed with the things. And thank you again for your time and inspiration that you have provided to all of us. And I hope we would meet you again, and we'll have more discussion and like interaction with you in future. Thank you, sir. And thank you everyone for your participation. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jayashree. And thank you, Himanshu, once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
You have
much,
taken
Press.
my request and yeah.
Not a problem, ma'am. It's always pleasure
So
to,
I'm very happy that actually, we could connect and at least we could listen to your stories, actually, what you have done, you are doing basically. And really, I feel amazed that our students have become, those who become entrepreneurs, their lections actually really inspiring to us.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you,
It was
Himanshu.
pleasure
And thank you
talking to
all
all
for
of you.
joining.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Thank you, Himanshu. So I'll be disconnecting the call.